Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I'm speaking with Stef Mariani. She has just released a fantastic new track called Use My Imagination, No More War, and I am super excited to talk to her all about it. Steph, I want to thank you so much for coming on today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you doing?
Fantastic. No complaints over here. This is easily the highlight of my day, and I'm really excited to talk to you about this song. Obviously, I just want to jump right into it. This is, a lyric heavy song. It's stripped back stylistically, but I think that was its purpose. And I'd love to get a background on what this song means to you and, what it's all about, really.
Yeah, so I often get inspiration for my music by what I see other people experiencing around me. But what I found is that it really relates to my own experiences. So a lot of it is my me putting myself in the shoes of the people I see that are maybe experiencing suffering. In this particular situation, I was inspired initially by footage that I saw of women sending their boyfriends or husbands, soldiers into war in the Ukraine, and just the close up of their facial expressions. And I think with technology, I'd be on TikTok or I'd be, social, wherever, because I don't really
Yeah.
actually watch the news.
I feel the same actually. It's in your face one way or another.
Yeah, but I feel like someone will tell me if I need to know something, but
The same, the same.
I'm definitely not looking to like look at regurgitated information,
Sure.
because it's not very productive for me.
I
But
agree.
I became very aware of, what was happening, and my heart just went out to these people. And it's not just, women sending men, it's men sending women and children sending their parents and
Yeah.
parents sending their children. And it really becomes, I have a lot of friends who are military. And also I am a realtor here in Honolulu. So most of my business are actually military clients who are PCSing in and out. So I get to hear their stories and see their footage. And actually, the music video features one of my real estate clients.
Really?
Yeah, and their little boys welcoming their dad home. Just very like
Yeah.
very emotional. Yeah. So anyway, the song is written from the viewpoint of the people that have to wait and see if they'll even see their loved ones again.
Sure.
And uh I'm really inspired by the fact that, and I think because we have technology, we're all aware of the fact that nobody thinks this is cool. Nobody,
No.
you
And
know,
those
like,
those that do, it's all propaganda. Like you hear the stories of people in Russia who are just like, no, there's no way that this could be wrong, but it's just being what they're fed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And it's a global problem, but I think it's music like this and really just bringing awareness to the problem as a whole, which makes the most sense. And
yeah,
if you can contribute in any way, then you're making a
yeah.
positive impact.
Yeah, I think that music is a really powerful way to
Yeah,
change the world. And I genuinely believe, like Gandhi brought out, we have to become the change that we want to see in the world. Right. So for me, I have this gift of music where I can send out compassion from the Hawaiian Islands to the other side of the world and letting them know you're not alone.
right.
We care about you. And I do agree with you. I think a lot of that is propaganda, that even like the Russians are like excited about this war. I mean, those are they're all related to people. They're all like a big family
Yeah,
from what I understand. And so I think this is actually, ironically, an opportunity to highlight the unity
I
of how
agree.
everyone's feeling the same way. And in the past, without us being able to communicate, I think that we could sit in a war and go, oh, those people are bad because they look different and they're from a different place. And we're the good guys. And I think everybody, for the first time in my lifetime, is on the same page where they're like, this is not cool. We
Yeah,
don't care about your ego. We don't care about you wanting more than you will ever need. right? That's those.
No, it's true. It's like there's enough going on in the world besides war. Just, I mean, even look at anything that's happened over the last 2 years, and then you add this in. People have had enough. Like, people just don't want.
Not
I think
cool.
everyone's done with the drama, and I really like. I do feel the same about not watching the news. It used to be just like have it on in the background, casual, see what's going on. But you know what? It's always something bad. It's always something clickbaity. If there's something that serious that's going on, maybe a parent or a friend will reach out and say, have you heard about this? But for the most part,
Yeah.
keeping your eyes and ears off of it and trying to live your life and doing what you can to further yourself and those around you, like that's what seems the most important right now.
Right, right. Because I think the media, it's propaganda.
Oh,
It's all agenda driven. There's
right.
a hidden agenda or
Always.
an overt agenda.
Yes.
And so I think as human beings, one thing I've come to acknowledge because of my own personal experiences is that we are all susceptible to being brainwashed
Oh, yeah.
and led to believe, like, no matter how smart we think we are,
Right.
emotional intelligence, IQ, whatever, if we are susceptible because we're human
Yes. We're all,
to being
yeah.
conditioned. Yeah.
Everyone's able to be manipulated off some sort of marketing. Doesn't matter how big it is. It could be like a dishwashing soap, for example. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, that's wild. But like I said, it's music like this that does bring positive awareness, and it brings it in your face in a beautiful way. Did you have any outside help putting the song together in terms of like production or instrumentation, anything along those lines?
Absolutely. And this is really cool because in the past, this is my first song I've released since before 2020. I had
Right.
an album released in 2019. So this is me like being creative again. And everybody, I think, is finding their flow,
Yeah.
and in terms of production, that's absolutely the truth.
Yeah.
But I have a very small but dynamic team, and they literally, I wrote the song in 5 minutes. I sent it to my producer and my co-producer. His
Mhm.
name's Lonnie Park in New York. He immediately did all the arrangements, put all the production together, and then sent it to Dave Tusserone, who is our now 3-time Grammy winning, award-winning audio engineer
Right.
here in Hawaii. And he, within like 48 hours, had the finished product to me.
Jeez.
These guys are like, these
Yeah.
guys are, they know, and doing things in the moment gets the best result. So I'm glad you asked about that, because this is the first time we didn't go through some elaborate process. We just and like you said, the
Right.
music is very simple, like the song is very simple, but the
Yeah.
message is kind of the meat and potatoes. And so I just have the most amazing people. My co-producer, Lonnie Park, who did all my arrangements, he just won his first Grammy Award
Amazing.
at the Grammys about 6 weeks ago. Dave won his third Grammy Award. And it's just, I just am in the right company.
Yeah, you got the best in the biz on it.
I got the best. Yes. Yeah. And they care. They understand what I'm
Sure.
doing. They understand me as an artist. And it's like being able to produce things in real time. And then what I did for the video, did you see the video that I put together? So I reached out to my friend who's a part of the Navajo Nation in Arizona.
Right.
And he puts videos together. And I said, listen, I want to make this inclusive. And I wanted to highlight not just like what's going on in the Ukraine, but every person that's had to send their loved one away, not knowing if they'll see them again, children, and then welcoming them home. And so I gave him full creative authority to put that together, and he did such a good job. So it was like part of the process that's kind of magical, I'll share with you, is having a team that you trust.
Always the most important thing. You can't do it all. I always say producing is like speaking another language. Like you can be proficient, but if you're not fluent, then it may not turn out the way you want it to. Being a hands-off person, like what you're good at, whether it's the songwriting or the song composition or whatever it might be. But having a team surrounding you that props you up and makes you look even better, like it's maybe one of the most important things. It's the other half of your brain.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then relinquishing control.
Yeah.
right?
Another
And
huge thing.
so
Another huge thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really kind of key, right? Because
Yeah.
there's like earlier in my career, there was a tendency to do some micromanaging. And also
Yeah.
I didn't have a team together that I was totally comfortable with.
Sure.
But when I hand things off now, I trust myself to choose the right people.
Yeah.
And the results are just incredible.
There you go. Yeah, like, I want to really just like hone in on this, but the style of this song, it didn't need any pointless production gimmicks or novelty flashy sounds. Like, the song is lyric focused, as I mentioned. It doesn't need to be anything more than that, but there's like a subtle beauty about it that it holds your attention and it piques your interest. And it just, I mean, even the song title is interesting enough to be like, ooh, what is this? It's all you really need in a song these days. It doesn't need the glitz and the glamour.
Yeah, I think people are looking for something meaningful and let
Mhm.
like the overproduced stuff.
Sure.
People are over it, I
I
think.
agree. I think, I mean, I listen to music literally all day long as my job. And I can tell you that I'm over like just the overproduced too much.
It's
Like,
like over trying, right? It's
yeah,
like
it's
when
just
you're
like,
trying
I
too
get
hard,
it.
there's
I
like,
get it.
okay, what's going on there, you know?
Right, right. So I have to look towards the future here, and I want to keep the focus on the single, but you've got so much more coming. I assume that you'll be using the same team for further music, and is there more music on the way in some capacity?
Absolutely, absolutely. So this will become my next album, which will be my fifth album.
Awesome. Okay.
And I'm just letting it create itself
Good.
without a particular plan. So having the single released this year, normally what I do is I will release the album the following year or 2 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause
Well, you
it
can't rush
depends.
art.
Where are we going? What are we in a hurry for?
I
You know?
agree. I mean, that kind of seems to be the way of the music industry anyway, is people release albums all the time, but it's that slow lead up with the singles and the hype building and the videos. And plus, like, you're on your own schedule. You're the one who's investing all the time. If you're not happy with what's coming out, like, don't feel the need to rush it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to get a good result, I think,
Yeah,
when you're not going with a natural flow.
totally. Is there something about the process, like as a whole, that you look forward to the most? Like the dreaming up the sound of the song or the writing
Ooh,
part, the production, the recording, or just being done with it and feeling the weight lift off your shoulders?
I like sharing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Cause like it's kind of like I anticipate that through the whole process.
Hmm.
And then when I share it and I get the response from others, if let's say, for example, it provides comfort for one person, if this song and all the expense and all of the effort and everything that's gone into it makes one person feel comforted for one day, it is more than worth it. And that's what drives me.
I feel the same. You don't need millions of people to boost your ego. You just need to connect with a small few who fully understand it and share it with their friends and say, hey, listen, I think you might really resonate with this message.
Yeah, I mean, I think what's at the root of it, because I'm writing my book now, and so I've had to
Yeah,
really figure out like what drives me, like why do I care so much? And I think it's like a desire. I don't want people to feel the way that I've felt in the past.
sure.
Like I want to provide comfort for things that I've maybe needed comfort for, because I understand how valuable that is.
Oh, yeah, that's the connection that you're building. That's
Mhm.
what the people listen to the lyrics or they read the book and they're like, wow, she gets it. You just need to
Yeah,
find connections in this world. What is
that's
the book
it.
about?
So it's interesting because I wrote a song called Stay Gold. It's my third album,
Okay,
became the title track. And it was just a song that I wrote sitting on my back porch, my back lanai in Maui,
sure.
watching the sunset. And
Beautiful.
it was about not losing your childlike sense of wonder and your softness and your
Sure.
kindness. And not allowing the world to harden you and your trials and your challenges to make you bitter. And again, that's me comforting myself, but it was actually about a friend. It's just, I want, it's just the way when I'm writing, I perceive, I'm really interested in, I guess, humanity.
Clearly, that comes out immediately. I mean, just like if this was someone's introduction to your music and this was the first song, it might be the first thought that they think is, oh, this
Yeah,
person
right,
actually
okay.
cares about what's going
Fair
on.
enough,
So,
fair enough.
yeah.
And so like, okay, so then you rewind that back to my third album.
Yeah.
And so same thing, but it's a progression of me helping that to come forward, right?
Right.
Writing the book is actually making me really get in touch with myself, with
Yeah.
Stephanie, and go, okay, why do I care so much? Like, where is this coming from? And I was able to discover it. So I wrote the song. It won the album won the highest award you can get in the state of Hawaii for music.
Very cool.
Okay. Yeah. And very huge honor. And I would never expect to win it because it is a Hawaiian award.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like for Hawaiians?
For Hawaiians.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. And so Hawaiian music, but they also have categories outside of Hawaiian music,
Got
right?
it.
But it's an incredible it's an incredible honor to be recognized. So like in my category, I've been nominated with all of my albums for this award prior to that.
Right.
And didn't win, which is totally cool, right? Like that's
I understand.
That's like a win anyway, but I won with Stay Gold, and I was able to speak in front of 1.7 million people about what it means to stay gold. And I'm like, I don't know what it means to stay gold. It's just something that came out of me.
Yeah.
So things come out of me before I don't necessarily need to explain it.
I agree. And there doesn't always need to be a meaning because people interpret lyrics and songs a million different ways. The thing is finding comfort in it one way or another. Like obviously every artist in the world doesn't always get the opportunity to talk about their music. But when they do, maybe as someone who's found something in it, maybe don't listen because then it could skew your, whatever you thought in the first place.
Mm-hmm. So absolutely. And that's kind of like a good song.
Yeah.
Leaves it open for interpretation and relatability, right?
Always.
So this song is a little different because people were like, no, we want tangible information from you about this because we feel like the world needs this. So I got to speak about it. And then it became a movement where people were like, okay, well, we want to sit in front of you. And I started creating these workshops. I'm like, all right, and kind of following that down the road.
Yeah.
And then when we got shut down in 2020, we all got benched as musicians, as you know.
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, and I realized I'm like, it was really a time of self-discovery for me because I had to sit with myself. And nobody's clapping for me. I'm not feeling inspired because I'm separated from people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I created a matrix, which is basically Stay Gold is an acronym. And it's a set of values. And what I came to realize is I was raised by my great grandmother who was born in Italy in 1894.
Wow.
So I have these incredible old world values that I'm realizing people don't understand how to be happy. They don't understand how to be, because I'm trying to figure out why this became a movement. Like why did this capture so much attention?
Mm-hmm.
And I realized this is my gift to the world. So the book is just an explanation. It started out as an explanation of what it means to stay gold. And I couldn't skip the step where I talk about my personal story.
Of course not. No, the personal touch is what kind of ties it all together, I feel.
But as an artist writing songs, you can hide that. You can create these ethereal songs. Like, yeah, it means whatever you think it means.
But that's a 3 or 4 minute listen versus like a novel. So much different medium.
True. And it takes the vulnerability of being a songwriter and performing.
Yeah.
And getting through those preliminary years where people are like, I don't feel anything, like you have to, right? Like you have to work through, like people don't realize you have to like pay your dues to get here.
Yeah.
So writing a song is I mean, writing a book is like that on 4,000 steroids. Like you're just like, oh my
Pretty
God.
much. Yeah. It doesn't come as quick as, would you say you wrote the song in like 5 minutes or
5 minutes,
something like
yeah.
that? Yeah, just a little bit longer.
Even the like acronym I put together pretty
Sure, sure.
easily, and it's really old world values,
Yeah,
but I show people how to do it. Like S is for sincerity.
right.
So I tell people like, this is what sincerity is, and this is the result of your life. If you apply that, this is how you can improve your personal life and
Sure.
your, even in your business, and it's everywhere in your life is by your state of being. So, but I had to come forward with the reason why I care about all of this. And I honestly discovered a lot about myself. And the short story is I escaped from a high controlled religious organization.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And a marriage and a very, very, we were talking about brainwashing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the susceptibility of that because I'm on the other side of that. But what they do is these very cult-like organizations, they basically tell you that you are of no value and they condition you that you cannot leave. And so I had to play mental Jenga with myself. And it's humiliating, I was 36 years old when I left.
But you're on the other side now and you must
Yeah.
feel better.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah. Well, they told me I was a bad person.
Yeah. I mean, that's cult-like behavior. Sounds
It
like it, from my
is, but
limited knowledge.
you know why people don't talk about this?
Hmm.
Because the likelihood of getting out of it mentally is very low.
That makes sense.
Even if you leave, even if you are liberated physically, being mentally liberated is different. So Stay Gold is about being mentally, emotionally, and spiritually
I love
liberated.
that. What better way than to write a song about it and I guess help others connect? I assume all of this is in the book, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I'll have to
lots
read
of
it.
things that people are not gonna like hearing are in that book.
Sometimes we need the hard truths.
It's, you know what? I'm just saying what my experience is. And
Totally.
I don't cast a negative light on anything or anybody, but I am going to tell the truth.
Absolutely. I have a couple more questions for you. And I want to know, hypothetically, what does the next year of your life look like? In a perfect world with no, speed bumps.
Yeah. So basically I sit here in Honolulu and I play music every day. So I'm conditioning my mind and my body, my hands, becoming more skilled in my music, but
Yeah.
also like personally, I practice different meditations, and playing music is my main meditation.
Yeah.
And just creating quiet in my mind. And this is why I don't watch the news, because I learned after being so brainwashed that what you have to do is you have to clear your mind of the chaos.
Right.
And the reason why, there's this infiltration is because it keeps us from hearing our own voice. So for the next year, I'm disciplining myself, growing, and I'm going to be writing more songs, to complete my my album, and then I'm going to be releasing my book this summer, and it's going to be, it's going to be all over brick and mortar, Barnes and Nobles, Whole Foods, like everywhere. And
very cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool because Lonnie Park, who's my co-producer,
right.
He's going to do all the music for my spoken word album.
Nice.
So it's going to be, the book is
Okay.
going to be an audible book, but it's going to have a whole music production behind it.
I love that.
And
I've never
Dave
even
and
heard of
Lonnie are
that.
just, yeah, oh, neither have I. We just made it up.
There you go.
And
You gotta
Lonnie
think
just won
outside the
his
box.
first, yeah, he just won his first Grammy. He's like, let's do something amazing. I'm like, let's
Yep.
go.
There you go. Gotta capitalize.
Yeah.
Very
Like,
cool.
we're not afraid of hard work around here. We're excited.
You can't be. Well, geez, the next year sounds incredible. And basically, my last question for you here is, for the person that is going to discover you from this, and for the person that's going to listen to your music for the first time, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them?
You are loved and you are seen and acknowledged.
I love it. That it?
That's it.
Keep it simple.
Keep it
Perfect.
simple.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Steph, I want to thank you seriously so much for giving an amazing interview. And I also want to plug your music one more time. The song is called Use My Imagination, No More War. But there's so much more on the way. We're going to have links so people can listen and follow along and share and do all that good stuff. And I really look forward to speaking with you again to get a proper update.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me know when. I would love to.
Sounds good. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll speak soon.
All right. Thank
All
you.
right, you're
Aloha.
welcome. Aloha. Bye bye.